Formaji YouTube video k lia oper jo tum ny story lik kdhs k oper Thai men strong hook lik k do. Hook jandar. Suspenseful our curiosity sai barpor hona chaye k mary vauer engage ho jn our video ko ntk deken title, The Key Under the Tree. The sun was sinking behind the dense forest. Shadows stretched long across the uneven ground. A cold breeze whispered through the branches. I stepped carefully, my shoes crunching dry leaves. The air smelled of damp soil and something faintly metallic. My heart beat faster as I approached the old tree. Its bark was rough, knotted, and twisted like ancient hands. I noticed something glinting at the base of the roots. A small key lay half buried under the soil. I reached down and picked it up, its metal icy against my palm. A sudden rustling sounded behind me. I turned sharply, but the forest was empty. The shadows seemed to move closer, curling around the trunks. My fingers tightened around the key as a shiver ran down my spine. A low, distant hum echoed through the trees. It was not the wind. It came from beneath the tree. I knelt to look at the roots again, and the earth shifted slightly. Something dark and wet slid between the gaps in the soil. I froze, unable to pull my gaze away. The key in my hand felt heavier, almost burning my skin. The key throbbed in my hand. I could feel its weight pressing against my palm. The hum grew louder, vibrating through the soles of my shoes. The forest around me felt alive. Every rustle of leaves, every snapping twig sounded deliberate. I wanted to drop the key, but my fingers would not obey. A cold sweat ran down my back. I could hear my heartbeat in my ears. It was faster than I had ever felt. The ground beneath the tree seemed to breathe. I knelt closer to the roots, staring into the dark gaps between them. Something moved again, sluggish and wet. A shape formed in the soil. It was dark, formless, yet I felt its gaze pierce my skull. My throat went dry. I wanted to scream, but no sound escaped. The key pulsed in rhythm with the strange hum. The hum became a low chant. I could not understand the words, but they filled my mind. It was a warning, or perhaps a command. The shadows under the tree thickened. They curled around the roots, creeping toward me. I tried to stand, but my legs refused. My vision narrowed, the world outside the tree faded. All I could see was the black shape in the roots. It started to move closer. Slowly, deliberately, like a predator circling. The metallic smell in the air became stronger. It mixed with something rotten. Something alive. I realized the smell came from the soil itself. The earth beneath me seemed to pulse, like a beating heart. I heard soft whispers in my ear. I could not tell if they were words or just sounds. They sounded urgent, angry, pleading. The key in my hand vibrated violently. A sudden sharp pain shot through my fingers. I dropped the key, but it did not hit the ground. It hovered in the air above the roots, spinning slowly. The shape in the soil stretched upward. It took on a form. It had arms, twisted and long, made of dark mud and roots. Eyes appeared, glowing faintly red, unblinking. It opened a mouth, but no sound came out. Then the hum became a scream inside my head. I stumbled backward, hitting a tree. The bark scraped my skin, cutting a shallow line. The shape reached toward me. I could feel its coldness even before it touched me. It was pulling something from the depths of the earth. The key rose higher, glowing with a dim light. A faint voice whispered from the roots. It said my name. I tried to move, to run, but my feet were frozen. The shape's arms extended like branches, wrapping around the trunk of the tree. The tree itself seemed to tremble. I could hear cracking wood, snapping branches. The air grew thick, almost choking. A strong wind blew, but it came from nowhere. Leaves and dirt swirled around me. The glowing key fell suddenly, spinning toward the dark mouth of the roots. I fell to my knees, watching it sink. The shape's eyes focused on me now. They glowed brighter, burning into my chest. I felt a pull from the tree, as if invisible hands gripped my soul. My vision blurred. The forest disappeared. All that remained was the tree, the roots, and the shape. The hum became a scream again, unbearable. The soil beneath me split, revealing something horrifying. A hollow cavity, filled with a black, liquid substance. It rose, forming a mass of writhing shapes, faces, and eyes. I realized the key had unlocked something ancient. Something that should never have been disturbed. The faces in the black liquid stared at me. Some screamed silently, mouths wide, eyes hollow. Some smiled, but their smiles were wrong, twisted. The mass reached toward me with countless tendrils. Each tendril was covered in hair, scales, or slimy skin. It brushed against my arms, leaving a burning sensation. I tried to scream, finally, but only a choking gasp came out. The key glowed brighter again, higher in the air. It seemed to call to the darkness. The mass paused, then surged upward with terrifying speed. The ground shook violently beneath me. Trees around me bent and twisted as if alive. The sound of cracking wood was deafening. A voice echoed from everywhere and nowhere. It was older than time itself. It whispered secrets I could not comprehend. It asked questions I did not want to answer. I fell backward, my hands scraping the dirt. The tendrils reached my legs, cold and slimy. I felt my skin crawl. A sudden light shot from the key, cutting through the darkness. The mass shrieked and recoiled, hissing like 1,000 snakes. I felt the pull from the tree release slightly. The key dropped into my hand once more. I held it tightly, knowing it was the only thing keeping the darkness at bay. The mass writhed, twisting back into the earth. The hum slowed, became faint. But the tree remained alive, its roots twitching, hungry. I did not dare move. I did not dare breathe. I stared at the spot where the key had sunk. And I knew, deep down, this was not over. The forest waited. The tree waited. And the key waited for someone else. I stood frozen, gripping the key tightly. The forest was quiet now, but the silence felt heavy. The air still smelled of earth and something metallic. The tree loomed over me, massive and silent, as if it had been waiting.